Before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more real stories like mine. And share your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to know what you do in my situation. I remember the night I got the text like it was yesterday. I was lying on the couch after a long day at work when my phone buzzed. Her name lit up the screen and I expected a casual "Hey, I'm home" or a cute emoji-filled message. Instead it said, "We need to talk." About him. Him. Her ex. The man who, until now, had been just a shadow in her past, a name she mentioned occasionally with a shrug, never more than a passing story. I felt my chest tighten. I didn't panic, at least I tried not to, but something inside me braced for a storm I didn't know how to weather. When she walked in, I noticed her hesitation. She didn't kiss me. She didn't greet me like usual. Instead, she sat across from me, legs crossed, hands twisting nervously in her lap. I need to be honest," she started. "I'm seeing him, and I don't want to hide it anymore. I'm giving you a choice." I blinked. My mind scrambled. "A choice?" I whispered, my voice barely steady. "Yes," she said. "You can either accept it and let me continue seeing him, or I can't be with you anymore. I won't lie." The world seemed to slow. My heart pounded in a rhythm I didn't recognize. And yet, I surprised myself. I smiled softly, almost sadly, and said, "Okay." She looked shocked. You accept it?" "I do," I said, though my voice shook. Inside, a storm was raging. I wanted to yell, to cry, to throw something, but I stayed calm. Because I had to. Because part of me already knew that accepting it didn't mean forgiving it. It meant survival, clarity, and seeing the truth for what it really was. The days that followed were surreal. She was constantly on her phone, disappearing for hours under the pretense of errands, work, or catching up with friends. I noticed the messages she tried to hide, the subtle tension when I walked into a room too quickly. And every time my curiosity or worry got the better of me, I caught myself questioning my own judgment. Was I imagining things? Am I being paranoid? But reality has a way of revealing itself. One evening, I found her phone unlocked on the kitchen counter. I didn't want to look, but I couldn't resist. And there it was, messages not just from him but about him. Plans, jokes, intimacies she'd never shared with me. My stomach sank, a mix of fury and heartbreak. I tried to process it logically. I reminded myself that I had accepted the situation. But acceptance doesn't stop your heart from breaking. And it doesn't erase the pain of betrayal. Every memory of us laughing, every touch, every "I love you" now felt like a carefully constructed lie. Or at least, a truth shared incompletely. I confronted her that night. She didn't deny anything. Her eyes were heavy, remorseful but unapologetic. "I told you," she said softly. "You accepted it. I'm not hurting you. I'm just being honest." And that was the hardest part, the honesty. The cruel, blunt honesty of someone who knew they had already broken what we had, and yet called it clarity. I wanted to scream, to cry, to make her feel the way I did. But instead I felt something else, an icy, quiet clarity. I knew I deserved more than a half-shared life. I deserved someone who chose me fully. The final straw wasn't a fight, it wasn't even another message. It was the silence that followed, the absence of warmth, the realization that I was no longer the man she wanted in her heart, even if I was still in her life. I packed a small bag, left her a note, and walked away quietly, because some endings are too messy to dramatize. They deserve calm dignity. I spent the next weeks in reflection. Pain gnawed at me, yes, but there was also a strange liberation. I remembered why I loved her in the first place, and how those memories, now tinged with betrayal, could serve as lessons, not prisons. I learned that love doesn't always come with fairness. Sometimes it's messy, confusing, and painful, but it doesn't have to destroy your self-respect. Looking back, the hardest part wasn't losing her to someone else. It was realizing that I had been living half-truths, comfortable lies that let me believe I was loved wholly. Now I see clearly, I wasn't. And the clarity, as painful as it was, became my strength. I still think about her sometimes, and I still remember the little moments that now sting. The shared dinners, the quiet mornings, the laughter. But I've also learned to protect myself, to value my own heart above the fleeting chaos of someone else's whims. So if there's one thing I want you to take from my story, it's this: betrayal doesn't define you. Acceptance doesn't mean weakness. And walking away when love is offered in halves is sometimes the bravest act of all.